What changed the way we saw and actually distributed music back in 1999? Think about it. How was music distributed? It was delivered in the following ways: traditional radio, music TV, cassette tapes, CDs, and maybe vinyl too. With the introduction of the internet, it brought a new and expedient way to deliver music. Now, music lovers can listen to music from their computers. This is where the game changed. However, many were slow to recognize it. You may be asking, why are we talking about music distribution? Here's another quick question for you to ponder as we reveal the why. Do you recall the disruptor of this new distribution medium? Napster? Yeah, there were many others out there just like it, but it was Napster who moved the needle on the record and struck the chord within the music industry. Why? Napster made it relatively easy for the music enthusiasts to download copies of songs that were otherwise difficult to obtain, such as older songs, unreleased recordings, and songs from concert bootleg recordings. Napster was a web-based peer-to-peer file sharing service. It's been recorded there were approximately 80 million registered users. When it comes to the history of music, you'll definitely find Napster in the history books. Why? There are many reasons, but one of the most important reasons, the ease of downloading individual songs facilitated by Napster and later services, is often credited with ushering in the end of the album era in popular music, which focused on the release of albums of songs by bands and artists. Phew. Now, with this short down memory lane recap, let's look at how and what we have today that's similar to Napster. Before we move on, let's point this out immediately. This is all done ethically, legally, and is part of the new wave of technology. Streaming is the key component in both instances when it comes to the changes in technology, which is primarily used now, and the birth of streaming media devices. Are you familiar with such popular brands like Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Google Chromecast? If not, now is the time to plug in and discover its useful benefits for entrepreneurs, indie industries, industry experts, and beyond. The game is changing, and too many entrepreneurs and indie artists aren't accessing these amazing options. It's not as if they're asleep behind the wheel, because they're not even behind the wheel steering. No one is sharing with entrepreneurs and others how not to just be a consumer of the latest technological innovations, such as streaming media platforms like Roku. Roku has been blazing the trail as the pioneers of OTT, over-the-top broadcasting of content for television. What does this mean? Roku has the ability to deliver media content such as TV programming, films, sports, and movies without the requirement of traditional cable or satellite TV providers like Xfinity and AT&T Uverse. Why should this matter to a startup, industry expert, or an entrepreneur? It means that it no longer requires tens of thousands or millions or multi-millions of dollars to use television to position yourself, your brand, or your expertise. This technology provides anyone the ability to position themselves and their company where the average American spends 4 to 5 hours a day in front of the TV. While most of us are fixated on our smartphones and or tablets, the television hasn't gone anywhere. It's here to stay. Again, think about it. Televisions have gotten thinner, larger, and smarter. No matter what, we want to watch the action on the biggest screen in our homes. Have you ever given any thought on how Netflix became the biggest streaming media network to date? Do you think the bulk of their viewers are watching by way of smartphones, PCs, or tablets? Roku announced the first Netflix Internet Video Streaming Receiver box, the Roku DVP, on March 20, 2008. Since then, Netflix has some of the top-rated programming, some of which have received Emmy Award nominations. The most recent news announced was that Shonda Rhimes decided to move her production company, Shondaland, to Netflix to produce new content for the streaming media network. Why share this? Well, just like traditional music was changed back in the late 1990s, think how the music industry was slow to recognize the changes in order to leverage them. There appears to be a repeat of history, a parallel, only this time it's traditional television. The difference? Is there a difference? Traditional television is now in a position of adapting to the innovations of technology, the marketplace, its competition, and streaming media devices. How are you adapting to these technological changes? Is it more so as a consumer? Are you thinking of ways to leverage this form of innovation to grow your business? Here's some fast facts for you per Sandvine in 2016. Roku was the #1 streaming platform for viewing the Rio Olympics, more than all Android devices, iPads, iPhones, and other streaming players. What does this mean? Just like the music industry evolved to allow music fans to consume it by the way of computer, so has traditional television. The television is still the transmitter. However, streaming media devices like Roku have introduced a better way to reach TV viewers around the world. Here's the big picture. They are bypassing mainstream networks, ABC, CBS to NBC, to deliver content to the end user. Even better, they have opened the door to those who would have never been able to spend their expertise, brand, business, or services to an actual television audience. There are always casualties when technology changes, such as Border Bookstore, Blockbuster, and Circuit City. The question is this: when will entrepreneurs get ahead of the curve? iDefine TV is helping entrepreneurs, small businesses, indie music artists, and industry experts by sharing with them this game-changing technology. It's not going anywhere, it's here to stay. In order to match this paradigm shift, traditional television is adjusting the way they've done TV in the past, due to the fact that streaming media devices are advancing into status quo. Now is the perfect time to learn the what, how, and where about streaming media devices. The game plan is to get ahead of the curve by not simply being a consumer of it, but by becoming a master of it. Join iDefine TV for the next webinar where we share with you and show you the ins and outs of what no one else is talking about. When it comes to Roku and learning about how streaming media devices are the new threat to traditional television, visit us at www.idefinetelevision.com/Roku-webinar.